Hello everyone, welcome to the Wizard of Oz Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, and I'm here to tell you my thoughts on this game. In case you did not watch my Let's Play, or even aware of what the game is, the Wizard of Oz Beyond the Yellow Brick Road is a role-playing game for your Nintendo DS. That's right, a role-playing game. Classic turn-based, too. If I was to rate its challenge, I would say it's probably best suited for a light experience for newcomers, or if you're looking for a simple play experience. Being a portable game, it's excellent for the on-the-go trip, airplane, car ride. Good for that. Now, it's obviously debatable because basically when you talk about RPGs, sometimes people like to throw in challenge, and an RPG should challenge you to an extent, but you can't expect every RPG to be so freaking hard, because then how would people ever learn to like RPGs to begin with if it's so complicated your first time? You know, simple experiences can be good too. I like a simple experience with a unique twist. When it's just a plain and boring RPG, it's a plain, boring RPG. But if it has a simple and interesting design to it, I think it can even interest more veteran people to RPGs. That's why I think some people like games such as the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. You know, that's a very iffy game with different role-playing people. Some hate it like hell, and other people love it. Just for its simplicity. It's sometimes nice to just sit down and not have to do like an intense 2-hour fight or anything, and then just gamble and boom, you're dead. 2 hours gone. Sometimes you just like sit down and just go through a game of that. Now, I really did like the concept of Wizard of Oz's battle system. Basically, it's a very interesting battle system. Basically, you have 4 points. And each of the 4 characters from Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man, have a point value. Dorothy and the Scarecrow each 1 point. Cowardly Lion is 2, and the Tin Man is 3. You can have any combination of these characters up to 4. So, you could actually have the Scarecrow take 4 turns in 1 round, or 2 for Dorothy and 2 for Scarecrow, or Dorothy, Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion, or Scarecrow and Tin Man. The people who are not out during the round are not vulnerable, so you can quickly throw in and out characters as things go wrong in your battles. Now, it's a very simple turn-based system. It's not real time or anything. It's just straight out Dragon Quest turn-based. Enemies can be visually seen on the field. Now, the thing that's a little odd is, now mazes aren't a new concept to role-playing games, obviously, but the way it doesn't give you a map or anything. Basically, you have the levels, and there are signposts at splits, and you put symbols on the arrows to indicate, like, you got circle, X, heart, and stuff to indicate, like, this good thing, I've been there, it's a dead end, or I got the treasure, it's a dead end now, and it's a little weird, to be honest. I mean, being a mazy is not very odd to me in an RPG, but it seems a bit odd. Now, the puzzle solving in the game, it offers puzzles, but to be quite honest, they're pretty actually lazy. You get elemental spirits that join you, and they each solve a specific type of puzzle, but the thing is, there's nothing different really about any of them. They just always solve the same type of puzzle. So there's no real thinking about it. You get a spirit, you meet an inanimate object, you figure out what spirit activates it, and there you go. You're on your merry way. That just feels really... That felt really lazy there, to be honest. There was not any really interesting puzzle solving. Aside from that, you're mainly just navigating through each area to find crystallized mana eggs, which are requested to basically you follow the story of Wizard of Oz, you end up in the world of Oz, and you get asked by the Wizard of Oz to find crystallized mana eggs. So you're on this quest to find crystallized mana eggs, and to also defeat the 4 witches of each corresponding direction, except they're based on the seasons instead of just the compass directions. Now, the story is pretty lackluster. It's basically a twist of the Wizard of Oz. It's not incredibly faithful to it. It's its own interpretation of it. And it's interesting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But, you know, in the more modern gen of role-playing games, I have to say I've seen 2 kind of crowds when it comes to role-playing games. You got the crowd that are back in the older days that are all about the combat, where stories were like a footnote. It's like, this evil wizard stole my wing, can you go kill him? I'm the king of this land. And there, that's the whole story. Now you spend 50 hours grinding and going through a giant tower and shit. And then you have the newer that actually solely just like the story and the characters and stuff, as opposed to the combat. And I always see in different aspects that people like one or the other as the main focus of liking a game. So if you're very story-oriented, you probably won't like the Wizard of Oz Beyond Yellow Brick Road too much. It really is the type of game where it starts out with some story, lots of little bits of story, and then the whole end part. As opposed to, you know, nice amounts of story. Like if you watched or played Xenoblade, that's a very nice balancement of story throughout the entire course of the game. So there is not tons of story here. It's the beginning, little dashes through here and there, mainly around the bosses, and then the end. Now, each of the characters control they're basically pretty much stereotypical roles where Dorothy's a mage hero, Scarecrow's like a thief type character, Caroline's a bit of a warrior type, warrior type buffer, and the Tin Man is an all-out melee attacker. And he gets some special skills later on in the game. They all have a few mixture of skills of that. Now, characters don't learn skills really hard, and this is something I actually didn't like in the game very well. All the skills you have to fight for. You'll find special optional bosses called Father Dragons, and you have to seek them out and defeat them, and they'll teach you skills. I didn't really like that too much. I wouldn't mind that for certain skills, but every single ability, spell, skill that all the characters, you have to defeat Father Dragons to learn them. And I found that kind of annoying, to be honest, for all the skills. I would have preferred if there were certain skills only used for that. But overall, it's a pretty interesting light game. The music is pretty nice. It fulfills the atmosphere, in my opinion. I really liked it a lot, the end music and the final boss theme. I really liked it there. Now, one of the really nice things about the game is the art, the style they used for the characters and everything. It's a very interesting look, in my opinion. And obviously that's very opinion-ish, but I really liked it. And if you like a little touch of anime, you know, just Google it. You can find several images in that of the characters in that. It's a very interesting art style. I really like it. It's very stylized. I think it really uses a good graphical amount of the DS's capabilities. Now, the controls at first might sound kinda iffy, because usually older gamers don't really like to hear that only touch control moving and such. Obviously, in this case scenario, it's the touch screen, but there was no buttons at all. None of them do anything. It's all touch screen. Now, it's very good. It's probably some of the best touchscreen controls I've seen in the RPG, actually. Probably one of the best. I really don't like the touchscreen for most RPGs, because, like, a lot of them, the little selections and that for spells and attacking and that are so small and everything. I just feel like I'm fighting to try and poke what I want, and I just always find the buttons nice. The game is very nice to make everything, a lot of the selections are nice circle shapes with icons to indicate what they are, so it's easier to go through your skills and everything much quickly. You move with a trackball on the main screen, and you just roll against it. It's very simple, and the faster you do it, the faster you'll win. So that's a very nice aspect of it, to be honest. And it's really well done, to be honest. I kid you not, the touch controls are very well done. They're really good. I really like them. They didn't bother me at all, unlike a lot of other RPGs. I just don't usually like the touch screen for most of my DS RPGs. They just bother me because they make all the selections so small. But, is there anything else I might be just missing? Oh, I do know. I have one more thing. This game is kind of becoming rare. Now, the price did kind of drop some on some used ones from when I initially got my copy, so it's a little cheaper right now. This is probably a game destined for obscurity, and I can probably see it becoming actually somewhat valuable in a way. So, if you're really interested in this game, I really recommend checking it out before it's just really hard to get, because it's really a shame for a really interesting game to become obscure. I don't think it's a bad game at all. It's not an insanely challenging game. I have to reiterate, it's a very light RPG. Simplistic, if you're looking for something simple you don't have to think intensely hard about, or just want something to kind of start you off with. It's an interesting game to pick up, and the setting and theme is also very interesting, because, well, you know, a basic theme is usually medieval, so, I mean, who the hell thought of Wizard of Oz? Overall, I really enjoyed The Wizard of Oz Beyond the Yellow Brick Road. It's probably going to be a RPG I'll recommend to people who are looking for something really different, aside from the norm medieval kind of setting. But if you're looking for a really deep challenge, you're not going to find a really deep challenge in this. But it's a fun game, in my opinion. I really liked it, and I hope you check it out, and I hope you'll look into it. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's great for trips and that. I played a lot of the areas and that when I was on trips and things. Well, when I grinded. Well, this is Atticus, and I hope you enjoyed my random spewing of information about the game. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment or something. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you look forward to the next video.